Hello. Welcome to day 114. We are almost done with NTI Mark. We have one more reading from Mark, which will be NTI Mark 16 in full. And then we're going to begin NTI Luke. So this practice that we're doing of contemplating the story and then going over what we've contemplated 8 times during the day is almost done. The practice will shift a little bit when we begin Luke, because Luke is a little different. We'll also start listening to some of my teachings from NTI Luke. Some of those audios will be coming up as special weekend assignments. So in some ways, everything is about to change. In other ways, they're going to stay exactly the same. We are going to stay with the do nothing meditation. In fact, we'll be doing that meditation for about 2 months. The only thing that's changing this week is the minimum time is increasing. Instead of being 12 to 20 minutes in the upcoming week, it will be 15 to 30 minutes. Now that's the minimum. So you can choose your minimum each day, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. You're always welcome to meditate longer if you choose to. Again, I meditate longer every day. So feel free to do that. I am doing the do nothing meditations right along with you. And I am using the videos and I'm really enjoying that. So this past week, our special assignment was Leo's video, how to stop judging yourself, right? That's what we did. And I thought that was a great video. One of the things Leo said in the beginning of the video is that judgment poisons your life. And that reminded me of something we read about 100 days ago, maybe a little over 100 days ago, when we were reading NTI Matthew chapter 5. Listen to this. Letting go of your grievances, and of course, grievances come from judgments, right? So letting go of your grievances towards your brother may seem to be letting go of yourself. For your own thoughts may tell you that you are justified in your anger or your caution for what your brother has done or may do to you. But I tell you that thoughts of justification are like poisonous prison food. Their purpose is to keep you sick and weak within the prison walls. Rise up within the health of your heart and let these thoughts or let these judgments go. Your goal now is freedom, and you will succeed in your goal by letting go of every thought that would keep you imprisoned. So again, both NTI and Leo agree that judgments are poisonous, right? They poison your life. One of the points that Leo made, and I love the way he made this point, is that when you judge others, you're judging yourself, because all judgment backfires on you. And he gave a lot of examples, some of which I thought were kind of funny because, my mind hasn't judged sometimes in quite that same way, although my mind had its own ways of judging. But let me give some other examples of how judgment backfires on you. One is when you judge people for making mistakes, right? When you judge people for making mistakes and then you make a mistake, that backfires on you, right? You feel guilty, you feel ashamed, you feel embarrassed because of the backfire of the judgment of others. Another really interesting example is it backfires on you when you judge other people for judging. They could be judging someone by their race. They could be judging for any reason, and you might feel righteous in judging them for judging. But you'll find that actually makes letting go of judgment very hard, because you then judge yourself for judging. And when you judge yourself for judging, it's hard to look at your judgment with the open awareness that's necessary to let go of judgment. So it's a little funny that by judging others for judging, you remain stuck in judgment yourself. So again, when you judge others, you do judge yourself. It backfires on you in some way. And even though, Leo had some funny things to say in that video, his points were absolutely correct, right? And to be taken very, very seriously. He pointed out that this includes any positive judgments, that positive judgments backfire on you. And I have an example. One of the things I thought was funny is he talked about how girls judge pretty girls. They might call them skanks or whores or something, right? I actually didn't do that. Never. On the other hand, I admired other beautiful women. I would look at them and admire their clothing and their hair and their makeup and their nails and their legs. But then I took that and I turned that around on me. And I compared them to me. And I found myself, well, to be honest, disgusting. And it led to self-hatred. So even that positive judgment, right? I wasn't negatively judging beautiful women. I was positively judging them, but that backfired on me. So again, both our negative and our positive judgments backfire. He said, judging is like creating a law or a rule that's stored in your mind. Very important, stored here in the brain, unconsciously. And he also pointed out these rules are totally arbitrary. And he says, and now, and I thought this was an important point now, because you have all of these judgments in your mind. And again, you're as held to your judgments as the rest of the world, right? So now you have to jump through hoops to be the perfect person. I know a lot of people suffer from perfectionism, right? Or they suffer from self-hatred because they don't see themselves as being perfect. He said, and this is also, I thought, extremely important, by having all of these rules in your mind that you now have to live up to yourself or suffer your own judgment. He said, you deny yourself the flexibility you need. And what I added to that is that you need to follow guidance. For example, if you have to be nice to everyone all the time because you've judged people for not being nice. So you have to be nice all the time. And of course, your mind has ideas about what nice is. What happens when your guidance is to tell someone no when they ask you to do something? Or what happens if your guidance is to address someone about breaking a rule? Like, let's say you're a manager and they're always late to work, and you have the guidance to talk to them about it. But your mind is judging you as not being nice, and you're supposed to be nice, right? You can't follow your guidance because guidance doesn't always look the way these rules in your mind would define perfection or being perfect to look. So judgment actually blocks your ability to follow guidance. And that's, to me, a really important point. You need the flexibility to follow guidance, to go wherever guidance guides you to go, to do whatever guidance guides you to do, without having rules in your own mind that would block that. Of course, hopefully everyone practiced the exercise that Leo invited us to practice. It's a very enlightening exercise. A lot of the judgments that you made, could have been things that you might not have thought of as judgments before you did the exercise, the stream of consciousness. Like if you noticed judging yourself or others as introverts or extroverts, I didn't really think of that as a judgment until I watched this video. Healthy or not healthy. Now, I had thought of that as a judgment. I know that I have judged myself as healthy, and that could backfire on me someday, right? I could get some kind of an illness, and then my self-image as healthy is at risk. So it's funny, the types of things, the types of decisions we make about ourselves and others that we don't even see as judgments, and they are judgments. So some of the final points that Leo made, which I think are really important. How to stop judging yourself? He says you stop judging other people. Well, how the heck do you do that? Judgment's like a habit. Those judgments sometimes just fire in the brain. Well, he said, be mindful, be aware. Just be aware of the judging that's happening. Just notice it. Pay attention. As you start really paying attention with awareness instead of just blindly believing the judgments, you'll be surprised. Something in you will begin to shift on its own and start not wanting those judgments, right? Judgment will become distasteful. Another thing is, notice how judgments backfire on you. Notice the pain judgments cause you. My mind is not judgment free. But compared to what it used to be, it is significantly judgment-free, significantly. I can go entire days and not see a single judgment in my mind. I don't know for sure that I can go an entire week. I might measure that sometime, but I know that I can go entire days. And sometimes people ask me, how I gave up judgment to the degree that I did. And for me, it was really noticing the pain that judgment caused me. I tell people, I kind of started to see that when I was judging someone, it was like having a hammer and hitting myself in the head. And I said, I just got sick and tired of hitting myself in the head. In other words, at some level, the reason judgment stopped is because I lost interest. So this is what being mindful, this is what awareness, this is what paying attention does, right? When you're mindful, when you're aware, when you pay attention, you learn. And you actually learn at a level, believe it or not, that's beyond the intellect, the intellectual mind. It's kind of funny. It's kind of like you learn with the cells in your body. You learn at a deeper level. And when the learning occurs at that level, there's a losing interest that happens. And you'll find you just won't bite. It's kind of like you're a fish and the judgments are little worms and you just won't bite. They'll just go right on by. So I thought it was a great video. I really did. I love that concept of backfire. And again, we saw that in NTI Mark, right? Jesus said something similar. I didn't mark this. Let's see if I can find this quickly. Here it is, page 74. Your judgment is like this grain, right? Jesus had a measuring cup full of grain. Your judgment is like this grain. With the measure you use, it will be measured to you, right? So any judgment that you throw out there comes back. And in fact, it says he playfully tossed a handful of grain at an apostle and said, even more, right? But the point, your judgment is like this grain. With the measure you use, it will be measured to you. So I hope that the video and the exercise that was recommended in the video was insightful for you, and I hope helpful to you. And I hope you enjoy your last day with NTI Mark and the beginning steps into NTI Luke. And I will see you in 7 days.